Hey everybody, and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to show you how to use layers. Let's begin. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to click the start button. If this is your first time in Drawio, just follow the on-screen instructions and you're good to go. Using layers in Drawio allows you to organize your diagram by grouping elements into different layers, making it easier to manage, hide, or highlight specific parts. Now, the first thing that we need to do once we have accessed the Drawio application is enable the layers panel. How? If the layers panel is not visible, you might want to click this option right here that says format. All right. Click this button that says expand and click this option right here. That would give you the tools that you need later when creating flowcharts and diagram in this canvas. Now go to the view section. You should be able to see the layers option here. And you can also press the Control plus Shift plus L on your keyboard. All right. What will happen is there's going to be a layer that will pop up. I'm going to close on it because the shortcut is Control plus Shift plus L button. You see that? In this scenario, you would now have the option to create. You see this section right here that says add layer. The second one is going to be duplicate background, the edit data, and of course delete anything here in this canvas. So I'm going to click the add a layer. For example, we're gonna rename this as T. All right. So this layer, we can add new elements alongside here. One of the things that I'm going to add is import from the device in my computer an image. All right. So you see that? You also have an option to hide specific layer. You see that? So the deep layer has the image. All right. So I'm going to add another layer here to make sure that everything has its own layers, so it's not scattered and it's not colored. All right, you can always rename all the layers here for better organization. Now I'm going to add more symbols along the way here. I'm gonna create, for example, a flow chart right here. I'm gonna drag a flow chart here. For example, hold on. What I can do is go to the miscellaneous instead. I could add something like this. I can add something like this. So you're not limited with the ideas to creating in diagram and a flowchart. You can add also this right here. So that's for one layer. I'm gonna add again another layer. For example, the third layer is this. Now I'm going to add maybe another one. Go to general. I'm gonna add this one right here. The actor, and I'm gonna rename this actor as maybe deep laughs. I'm gonna change the font style of this into heading and kind of like different color, maybe like an orange. Click on apply. So that's that. We have now created different options here for the layers. I'm gonna make sure that the fill is different. Maybe this. Click on apply. So you have that kind of different elements together. Now, since you have the layer, you also have the option to lock all these, which is essential, especially if you're working with multiple freelancers or with your clients. If you want to share this layer, I'm gonna save it for now, so the updated file will be saved. So, for example, you want to share this to your client or your team members for feedback, for comment, so they would be able to view the diagram that you have created. All right, but they don't have the capabilities to accidentally delete it or update it. It's because the layers has been locked, right? Apart from this one, obviously, that's going to be the background. You can also do that. See? Now, you can actually reorganize all the layers into a specific position. All right, you can put the layers on top of the list, will appear above the layers on the lower list. And again, you also have an option to rename it. All right, by double clicking that, click on save. For example, you have accidentally created a new layer and you put it in delete. All right, all I have to do, if you want to delete that, you can simply click the delete option. Now, for example, you're working with specific team members that do not have the access or permission level to view a specific layers. All right, so you wanted just to let them have a feedback on this diagram, but you don't want them to see the other layers. Now, all I have to do is click this icon. And what will happen is they would only see this. Now, you see there is going to be another background on this section right here. If you want to edit data, you can do so by putting in a label here, for example, deep. And if you don't want to have it like that kind of label, you have the option right here. All right, for example, this, you can add property if you want. All right, but of course, it requires a different kind of learning, and you have all these options. All right. You see, you have an option to duplicate this if you wanted. For example, this is going to be a duplicate section. You use this if you want to place a specific background shapes or grids in a separate layer to avoid interference with the foreground elements. For example, this is going to be a foreground apart from the background right here, right? And from here, you can use layers to show different versions of a diagram for comparison or iteration. After doing all of these, you might want to click the file section. You can, of course, export this diagram that you have created using multiple layers in a different file formats such as PNG, JPEG, PDF, and you have the option here in exporting, and you can choose from any of the following storage: Google Drive, OneDrive, GitHub, GitLab, or even to your local machine. And again, you also have the option to embed this diagram, maybe if you're working with your website, Squarespace, Shopify, but if the file is too large, just leave it. Instead, you can click the publish link right here. Click that and embed it to your website. Click the preview button if you want it. And that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again in the next one.